Assalamu alaikum. The response is wa alaikum salam for those of you who are interested. Yeah, wa alaikum salam. May the peace of the Lord be with you. That's the meaning of the greeting. It is nearly 2 p.m. and I've just left my house. Today, I haven't left my house to go run around and do nothing. In fact, I woke up and I read nonsense. The book I was reading will bring no progress to my life. It will do nothing. But I was doing it for wellness and lifestyle and health reasons. That's why I was reading that book. It was not a manual. I know I will get there. So now I turn the camera off. Then I remember to clean the thing so that those of you who are concerned about my cleaning of my thing will see that I've cleaned it. So I hope you are happy. This morning I am living what wealth really is. But if you check my bank account, there's nothing there. My bank account itself has no disposable income. There is nothing to dispose there. In fact, I need more in my bank account to meet necessities. But I woke up this morning knowing that there was nowhere that I needed to rush to. That there was nothing that I could not ignore for one morning. That I have time on my hands. And that's one of the key things. Mami O'Brien, how you doing? These are some of the key things between the rest of us and the really wealthy. The really wealthy people are in control. They've got freedom. They can decide when they do things. They don't, there are not many things constricting their movements. I have become wealthy for the month of December because I have already worked and bought my time back for December. So school finished on Friday, and so I am not really obligated to do nothing in any regimentation for the month of December, unlike in my typical life. Yeah, Bumi, how you doing? Maxwell, good morning, everybody. I am genuinely in a position to do as I please, work as I please, chill as I please. Obviously, I've got work to do, I know. And so I potted around, then I turned my laptop on for a little bit. I put my laptop in the back of my car. I'm going to go pick a friend of mine up. There's a friend of mine from high school who's made a pit stop in Abu Dhabi. So I wanted to spend, I've not seen this woman since the 90s. Yeah. That's crazy. I've not seen her since the 90s. So when she turned up here, I wanted to go and spend some time with her. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick her up. We're going to go shopping. We don't even have an actual schedule. We are going to go to a place, and on my way there, if I find another place or something else comes to my mind, we will grab a coffee for sure, because yours truly needs coffee in order to get out of my mindset of chilling. But yeah, this is how really rich people, really wealthy people, especially those with generational wealth, those who have no bills that need them to actively do nothing to cover, this is how they live. The difference between that and my normal life is the absence of regimentation. So I would have gone to work tomorrow. I'll leave home by 6:30 in the morning, and so we need to figure out. It's even better now when the children were here and they were younger. Sunday was buying lunch box content or buying whatever the kids needed. Ho, ha, ha, ho. It was so overstimulating. And for the first time in this phase in my life, I have no children to schedule. And for this month, I have no pre-agreed work schedule. I I can work in the morning if I so please. I can do it in the afternoon if that is also my thing. And in the evening, if I want to read at night, which I did, I read late into the night and then I fell asleep. I woke up. That freedom to do as you please is wealth. And I get a taste of it now. I think I would become addicted to this. This is how an adult should live. So what does this tell me? I am very fortunate that I get to have this and enjoy this. And my brain is already zoned in on the things that I ought to do in order to make this the norm. The things that I ought to do to make sure that in the next 3 to 5 years, I am in a position to be able to do this. I was chatting to a few of my British friends here, and we were all saying that the budget they read this time has some serious implications for us. And one of the serious things is the challenge to state pensions. The challenge to your state pensions. To get state pension, there are now clauses. I didn't even listen to the clauses because I know by the time I actually retire, the clauses would have changed many more times. Tata Rose, how you doing? So what is the only thing I have available at my disposal? You know, something also just crossed my mind. I had a 10-year policy which will mature on the 28th of this month. This policy for most people is not a big deal. This policy is a $150 policy. That's the monthly stipend, $150. Nothing big. But I have paid this thing consistently for 10 solid years. 12 installments times 10. Yeah. 120 payments. $12 installments times 10 years. Oof. Yeah. And it's an investment portfolio, so I do need to go talk to the managers of that portfolio to have a look and see how much money is in there. How do I invest that money? Initially I was thinking I would go and take the money off. I might actually let the money sit there and let it build some of these securities for me. True wealth is not how much your bank account is full. It's the capacity you have to fill it on demand. When I get broke and I look in my bank account and there's no money, I decide to go back into my systems and I find whatever of my assets that I feel like promoting. So at the moment I am going to set a few courses and I'm going to sell them to those of you who need those courses. I'm going to teach them live and I'm going to help you get started on business and to level up your businesses. I have come to know that that is wealth, to be able to generate money on demand. Not necessarily only having large quantities of money in your bank account. The definition of wealth is actually quite wide, quite deep. And I think each person is able to define what wealth is to you. Well, however you define it, it is a worthy thing of pursuing. Being wealthy is a great place to find yourself. Being in control, not being a victim of circumstances. That is incredible. So now I come to you. Are you rich? Are you poor? Or are you wealthy? Which one? If you are poor, you need to drag yourself from that point first before we consider anything else. And yeah, that is the starting point for majority of us. For me, the last 10 years has been a particular effort to claw myself out of poverty, to make sure that I was not totally dependent on just my wage, to make sure that I had multiple streams of income, and over the last 3 years in particular, to strip those streams of income to make them as passive as I could make them, to realize that most wealth will come from equity ownership. And so it has been my thing over the last few years to focus on how to own the equity, and I'm working on equity ownership. Yeah, Mabel, how you doing? Evening, how you doing? It is December, and we are making it the December to remember. Some of you are in my communities. The communities are now alive. You get, yeah, how are you not driving in Kwa? Sleepiness in Kwa. This one needs to stop for coffee. I need to find myself a lovely Starbucks place, roll in and get myself a frappe. I'd like a frappuccino, please. A cold, chilled one with some caffeine to kick me in. It makes no sense that I am tired, but it will take some time before I'm able to sleep it in drips and drops so that I feel rested enough. Mabel, it's good to see you. Good afternoon from Abu Dhabi. But yeah, I am talking to you about wealth and what it means, and more importantly, to start the conversation around how to create wealth. Two policemen on their motorbikes. That's very nice. Greetings. I hope my hometown people are all doing well, and I hope you and yours are doing well too. Ishatra Heba will offend some people. I am an Ankobia princess. That one is true. So Ankobia princess, yes. Ishatra Heba, no. I am an Insiatre and Hobia princess. That one, yes. Yeah. Big, how you doing? Mr. Cecilia, how are you doing? We are going to have conversations over the next few weeks. I want to make sure that I am positioning myself to create more wealth, and I want to do so with all of you as my partners in wealth creation. It is beautiful to see you. It will be more beautiful when we achieve together. So I get this all the time. We are getting starved of entertainment, and I'm like, I apologize to those of you who are still entertainment focused. If you look at the older videos, and now I'm trying to reshare a lot of them so you can find it. Those videos, there's a lot of entertainment in there, because you know, at that time I could do entertainment, but at this particular time in my life, I cannot afford to do entertainment. I think the reason why some of you have not seen the urgency is because you've probably not heard the news. So let me share the news with you. In the next 3 years, the greatest wealth gaps of existence are going to be created. The greatest wealth gaps are going to be created. Some are already businesses that are working, and those businesses who don't learn how to scale and how to use AI are going to find themselves obsolete. Those people are going to move behind. There are some people who don't even have a business right now, but those people are going to learn how to use AI, and we are going to ride that wave, and we are going to build businesses, scale businesses, and we are going to earn money that will make people's eyes water. Those who do that will set themselves apart, and for the next 3 years the gap creation is going to happen. If you sit and you watch and you allow people to get ahead of you in the next 3 years, it is going to be nearly impossible for you to catch up. It is going to be nearly impossible for you to catch up. What does that mean? That means that for each one of us, it is now a necessity to sit down and find out what this AI nonsense is about. What people are using these AIs to do. What businesses are these people setting up with these AIs? What business could you set up with AI? Or if you already have a business, how could you use AI to leverage AI in order to pivot and to catapult your business? How can you scale your business astronomically using AI, so that in the next 3 years you can be one of those people who is the beneficiary of these tools, who create the incomes that allow you to create a gap between you and your peers. Unsurmountable gaps are going to be created in the next 3 years. What you don't want to be is one of those people who's left behind with a gap you cannot surmount, because you are going to be poor. And I've told you, the worst affliction in life is poverty. Poverty is the worst thing that can happen to a human being. When you are unable to meet your needs, and you need Aristide Tope. When you are unable to meet your needs and you rely on others who are very unlikely to be able to come through for you, your needs are going to be unmet. You are going to have a lot of pain. And that is a thing I do not wish, even for an animal in my cage. Never mind one of my brothers and my sisters. In order to make sure that you don't become one of those people, you need to understand that there is a movement, and you've got to get yourself on the trail to move. You've got to position yourself to move. And it's going to start with learning. It's going to start with an awful lot of learning. It is going to start with a lot of discomfort, an awful lot of discomfort. But if you are able to suffer the discomfort and learn, yeah, life is going to get so much better for you. I love you loads. I want to share these moments with you. I want to invite you to think. So I had a speech that I'm going to do and share with you, but I'm going to share its outline with you, especially those of you who live in this country, those of you who live in the Middle East. The world's billionaires from all places are moving to the United Arab Emirates because these guys have created enabling environments. They've provided tax breaks, they have amenities, and it's just good for business. So the world's billionaires are moving here. That means that there is now services that you can provide to the world's billionaires, and they are right here, likely to see it in their feed. When they turn on their social media feed, they are likely to see you and your nonsense. When you advertise, if you advertise on billboards, these guys are likely to drive by. If you go to networking events, you are likely to see these guys. It is this time that most of us who live here need to start thinking, well, yes, I'm a teacher, but being a teacher alone is not going to be able to give me the security I want. But what services can I provide to the billionaires and their children and their households and their businesses, depending on how you position the skills you have and what you want to do? But how are you going to leverage that and make sure that people moving here, bringing business here, benefits you? How are you going to make sure that your business is in front of all these people? Esther, are you my Esther? If you are, I need to speak to you, so please come into my inbox. Yeah. It is imperative that you hear this conversation. It is so critically important to survival that you start taking decisive actions. Actions that are likely to get you in ahead of the game. By the time people start doing AIs, you should have some of the AIs going. I have been training chatbots for quite a while, and I am very happy with the kind of chatbots that I'm building and how those chatbots are now making my systems work. This week, my communities were such a dead end. There was no post that goes there. Right now, it is possible for me to use my AI to keep my communities at least alive. I'm just thinking of more things I could do to keep everything banging and popping. Amazing. And I can imagine that will help me and my community building. And yeah, community building is certainly one of the tools that are supposed to transform the game in 2026. Those with attentive communities, those people are going to be able to do so much more than those who don't. Having said that, if you are in my Facebook and you haven't joined my progressives group, or you haven't joined my Fan Central group, you need to get your hind in there quickly, because Facebook itself is annoying me. So I'm going to start shifting my live creation into alternative places and reshare to Facebook, rather than creating on Facebook like I have done all the time here. I'm probably going to do YouTube lives and then reshare from YouTube onto Facebook. It's because it will serve me better, really, to be honest, on YouTube for those things to happen. Elijah, how you doing? I greet all of you. I hope you are well. I've got other platforms that have been sitting dormant. Those are going to start seeing traction. The Money Ama project on YouTube is going to get more attention. And I'm doing all those things because I'm trying to be one of those people who leverages this dispensation to create wealth and to bring money into my streams significantly more than I have ever been able to do, so that I may get ahead of the income curve that is imminent. If you didn't know, well, hopefully this video has helped you to know. And then the next thing to do is to go and devise your action. Those who come up with strategies that are successful will become the wealthy people of the next 3 years. And those people and their wealth will probably be for generations. Those who don't learn the game, oops, you confine yourself to the other type of life also for the foreseeable future. That's quite scary. Anyway, this is what I'm going to share with you today. I love you loads, but I'm going to leave you because I will need in the next 2 minutes for this same device to become my navigation device. It's going to be my navigation device. So much as I love you, it is time for me to say goodbye. And it's also time for you to take the information you've heard, brood over it, let it simmer, think, go and consult all the things that you consult for advice, and start devising a strategy. If you need a coach, you know where to find me. And yes, I am available on my calendar most days for the next, what is it today? Today is the 6th. So for the next 25 days, I'm available to help you. I'll see you guys in a bit. Ta-ta.